The killing of anyone, especially in this political sphere, is terrible and wrong. No matter who you are, whether you are on the left, the right, you're black, you're white, you're yellow, you're brown, you're red, it doesn't matter. Political violence is wrong no matter what. Now, hearing about this woman in Minnesota who was killed by an ICE agent has led to a lot of controversy. Was she trying to drive away from the officer? Were her wheels facing towards the officer, or were they facing away from the officer? Did the ICE agent get hit by the car? And what's really interesting about this situation is depending on what political side you're on is how you are going to feel about the situation. If you are a conservative like me, then you will see that it looks like the wheels are pointed at the officer when the officer decided to shoot into the car, killing the woman. And if you are on the left, then you can clearly see that the officer is out of the way and there was no reason for him to shoot this woman because all he had to do was step out of the way. And I mean, you can look at these different videotapes and you can say, well, it looks like this, it looks like that, well, maybe he should have done this, or maybe he should have done that. And the thing about the situation is no matter what I say, no matter what I do, you already have your own predetermined notions on what happened with this situation. Some of you may be nodding your head along with me and saying, yes, I agree, maybe the wheels were turned towards the police officer and that's why he shot her. And other people might be shaking their head no and saying, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Of course the ICE officer should have moved out of the way. She was just trying to flee. And that is 100% fine because in America we are allowed to have different opinions. And it's also very hard to make a judgment about a video that's also very grainy. And you might not know where different things are or what's actually happening. None of us really know what happens except for that ICE officer and that woman in this situation. The one thing that I don't like is why this woman was there in the first place, as her car was blocking traffic and blocking ICE from doing their job. This woman, along with other people who are on the left, have fallen for the lie that ICE is the new Gestapo. Their governor, Tim Walz, has said something like this and also has told people that they need to go into the streets and start protesting after this killing took place. And he also talked about how he was going to use Minnesota National Guards to go after ICE agents, which is kind of insurrection-y, just a little bit. And the thing is I feel like this happens with every single police shooting that I've ever talked about on this show. But if this woman would have just cooperated with police, none of this would have happened. She still would have been alive today. Along with that, she lived in a whole nother state, so she didn't really need to be there in the first place. She could have ignored all of the lies that the left was giving about ICE being the Gestapo and trying to protect illegal immigrants. She could have just let ICE do their job. It's sad, but you know it's true. Another thing I believe wholeheartedly is if this woman was actually trying to kill an ICE officer and she succeeded by running him over with a car, the left would be cheering this woman on. And now I'm not talking about all the left, but a lot of people would be praising this woman as a hero. And that's the difference between this shooting and other shootings that we have seen in the recent past. As I have not seen one Republican come out and praise this woman's death. I have not seen one person say, well, she deserved it because of what she believed in. But I have heard that constantly on the left, and not everyone on the left, but a lot of people. A lot of people on the left have dreamed that Donald Trump would die. When he was almost assassinated in Pennsylvania, people were posting online, man, I wish he would have nailed that shot. Man, how could that guy miss? Man, if only the bullet would have moved just a few inches shorter. I have seen images and posts of people claiming that they have the right to punch a Nazi. Well, who's a Nazi? Apparently, MAGA Republicans are, so they have the right to punch them, kill them, even though people on the right aren't even close to being Nazis. The deaths of people that were killed by illegal immigrants take months to make the news stream. People that are getting stabbed on subway trains, it's barely even talked about until we make so much noise that people actually start talking about it. I and many others have received death threats because of stupid politics and our opinions being different. It shouldn't be that way at all. So yes, I do feel bad for this woman that got killed. I don't think she deserved to be killed at all. But I don't feel bad for people on the left who constantly support the violence against conservatives that we are seeing right now. And when a conservative does get shot on live TV with everyone watching, his neck bleeding out, guess what people do? They laugh about it, they make memes about it, and they make videos praising it. And when a conservative does get shot and killed live on TV, what does the left do? They laugh, they make memes, they dress up like him for Halloween, they make fun of him for his beliefs, and when people try to make a memorial, people try and disrupt it and get rid of it and destroy it. We on the conservative movement never rioted when this happened, even though we had a right to, because we were very angry. Schools weren't even shut down in Utah. People just stood around and prayed and hoped for the best for this country. Now for this situation, we are watching Minnesota burn. Now for this situation, we are watching a huge riot take place. People are boarding up their businesses and preparing for a George Floyd Part 2. Right now, Minnesota is burning and it's only going to get worse. Because we know what makes the left happy, and that is violence and destroying their political opponents. And we are supposed to feel bad for them after what they did to us with Charlie Kirk and what they have done to our cities? No, we shouldn't feel bad for them. Once again, I feel bad for the woman and her, but I don't feel bad for you because you are feeding the flames of violence that is going to cause a lot of issues in this country and led to this woman dying. You are the people that worship Luigi Mangione, a killer, and also were happy when Charlie Kirk was brutally assassinated. And when something like this happens again, because guess what? More than likely it will, because things are getting really heated. And the next time an ICE agent may die, guess what? I will be proven right, as the left will come out and claim that it was the right thing to do. It was a good thing that this ICE agent got it. He deserved it because of who he works for. No, I don't believe we are the same at all. No, I don't believe we are the same at all. And with that, I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dockery Docket. And until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.